Hello everyone, I'm Megan Sullivan and welcome to my review of Infinity Nikki, a free online gacha game by Infold Games that's surprisingly bigger, better, deeper, and darker than you would expect from a fashion-based RPG. Can a fashion-based RPG overflowing with bright pastels be a serious Game of the Year contender? Believe it or not, yes it can, and I'll explain why. I promise you won't want to miss this. But first, if you like these straightforward, objective, no BS videos, be sure to subscribe to my channel, it really helps me out. Thank you. So Infinity Nikki is the first non-mobile version in the Nikki series of mobile gacha games, and it's a big deal. Characters and locales are no longer static, and thanks to a big open world, the pink-haired protagonist can do a lot of things she's never been able to do before. There's a lot that's different in this fifth iteration of the series, but some things are very much the same, including the ever-present gacha mechanics, which we will definitely be talking about later. But first, what is Infinity Nikki about? Great question. Even dozens of hours into the game, I'm still not sure. The story is kind of piecemeal and unravels, get it, very slowly. But here's what I can tell you about it so far. The game starts with Nikki and her hilariously mouthy cat Momo, yes, the cat talks, having their own Narnia-esque experience after going through a wardrobe and ending up in the ruins of a magical castle. There, Nikki meets a mysterious goddess who grants her the ability to use the Heart of Infinity, a magical relic, i.e. a special skill tree, that allows Nikki to craft and wear enchanted outfits that allow her to wield wondrous abilities, like the ability to fly, shrink, play electrician, or purify corrupted beings. The goddess then tasks Nikki with collecting miracle outfits and using them to save the magical world of Mirrorland from a great evil. She then whisks Nikki and Momo off to Mirrorland, where their adventure begins. And here is where I have to stop and praise the absolutely gorgeous graphics. Mirrorland is just so amazingly beautiful. It's full of charming Romanesque ruins covered in spring flowers, pristine sparkling blue waters, brightly pasteled villages that look like they belong in the Cotswolds of England, and tons of stylish people and adorable fluffy animals to interact with. Now, when I say stylish people, I don't just mean people who wear incredibly detailed works of fabricated art. What I mean is this world is full of stylists, denizens of Mirrorland who have the ability to wield whim, a type of magic that stylists can use to imbue outfits with magical properties. It seems, however, only those with an innate whim ability, i.e. stylists, can use these magical outfits. And hey, thanks to the Heart of Infinity, Nikki can wield any magical outfit to great effect. In fact, the Heart of Infinity makes Nikki so OP that the Stylists Guild, located in the very charming town of Florawish, decides to recruit Nikki into their ranks and immediately assigns her a rather daunting task: help the stylists find out why people are going crazy and falling into a coma after making a wish using a device called a Quick Wish bottle. Now, Nikki should really be looking for ways to craft miracle outfits. I mean, her mission is to stop a great evil, but she's a kind-hearted person who wants to help everyone she meets, so she agrees to investigate the mystery of the comatose Mirrorlanders. And of course, as it turns out, the mysterious Quick Wish bottles and the great evil plaguing the world are intertwined for reasons I won't spoil here. Now, on the surface, this seems like your typical RPG story, but what amazes me about Infinity Nikki is how deep and nuanced the story can get. Infinity Nikki touches on some rather mature themes, like police brutality, racism, slave labor, and class warfare. It's kind of wild, but it's also really impressive. Infinity Nikki's narrative punches way above its weight, and thanks to a well-written script and high-quality voice acting, well, mostly high-quality voice acting. Some of the NPCs sound a little off. I genuinely care about these characters, whether they're human like Nikki, or a cat like Momo, or even a sentient rag. But what's especially interesting about the story is how Nikki has to earn people's trust. Just because she's an investigator with the Stylist Guild doesn't mean Mirrorlanders will just hand over valuable information or their prized possessions. Often, Nikki has to ask or answer a series of questions first, or go on a fetch quest, of course. But mostly, Nikki will only get what she needs by proving she really is a qualified stylist. And this is where fashion battles, or stylist duels, come into play. If Nikki wants information or access to a specific area or item, she'll have to win people over with her fabulous wardrobe. These HAUTE combat sequences can be initiated with almost anybody, whether it's random people on the street, members of different stylist factions, or specific NPCs important to the main narrative. And here's how these duels work. Every piece of clothing Nikki owns comes with a number of different stats attached to it, kind of like armor in an RPG. But instead of a dress or a hat or a skirt giving Nikki a specific number of health points or wisdom points or dexterity points, these letter-graded stats, and the points associated with that letter grade, are categorized by fashion themes. There are 5 main fashion themes in Infinity Nikki: elegant, fresh, sweet, sexy, and cool. There are also fashion subcategories like simple, uniform, summer, romantic, pastoral, etc. Now, just like in an RPG, different clothing, will have higher stats than others, and owning a one-of-a-kind matching outfit will yield higher stats still. The higher the stats, the more points will be awarded to Nikki during her stylist duels. Well, as long as she respects the specific theme of that duel, never bring an elegant dress to a cool-themed party. Now, I love these fashion duels for a couple of different reasons. The first is that it's just so much fun to play dress up. Infold went above and beyond when it comes to making hundreds of unique pieces with intricate design details. If you use the zoom button when dressing Nikki up, you can actually see the different types of fabric used in a dress. I can tell what's supposed to be leather and what's supposed to be lace. I also love how her clothes and jewelry sparkle in the light. Even in cutscenes or just running around Mirrorland, anything that is supposed to shine, shines brightly. It's mesmerizing. Better yet, everything has so much movement. Whether in battle or out in the world, you can see Nikki's hair and earrings sway in the breeze whenever she nods or tilts her head. And I can see the light reflected in her glasses, and that's really cool. Everything is just so gorgeously designed that even when I didn't win a duel because my stats weren't quite high enough, I didn't mind because Nikki just looks amazing no matter what. Plus, there's no penalty for losing in battle, so you can just try again. But it's also fun to just mix and match clothing and accessories and find interesting ways to manipulate your stats. With that said, how does one go about acquiring amazing apparel for these duels? Well, there are 3 main ways to fill up Nikki's wardrobe. The first is to just go shopping in town. This is a good way to quickly fill up Nikki's wardrobe and guarantee she'll have at least one combat item that fits a specific fashion theme. The catch is that you can rarely buy a complete outfit all at once. You have to buy pieces individually, which means it can get expensive and time-consuming to do so. Plus, store-bought clothes tend to have low stats, which means they don't yield Nikki a lot of points in a stylist duel. Now, it's true that Nikki can glow up an item, i.e. use resources and currency to raise an item's overall stats, but this takes a lot of resources and time. The game really wants players to make their own clothing, so ideally it's better to go with the second option for collecting attire, which is finding or earning design sketches and crafting unique outfits. And this is where Infinity Nikki's unique open world design really shines. You see, if you've ever played an RPG with a crafting system, you know farming resources can be a boring pain in the butt. But I'm happy to say that collecting resources in Infinity Nikki is really fun, thanks to a combination of enjoyable exploration and bouncy platforming needed to reach out-of-the-way crafting material. Although I should mention that platforming can be a tiny bit frustrating on the PlayStation 5 due to occasional input issues. I adore poking around ruins and bouncing high into the air to grab shiny stars or fluffy down for a dress. And I also like that Nikki can also collect resources by participating in mini-games, completing realm-based challenges, solving platforming puzzles, or using ability outfits to fish, catch bugs, groom animals, and even repair faulty wires around town. All of these activities yield useful rewards that Nikki can then use to make the prettiest outfit ever. Well, almost the prettiest outfit ever. For the best outfits in the game, you'll need to pay and play, and this brings us to the third way you can acquire clothing in Infinity Nikki, the Gacha mechanic. For those who don't really play these type of games, let me quickly explain Infinity Nikki's Gacha system. In a nutshell, players have the chance to win random bits of an extremely rare and stunning outfit by going to an online banner, which is kind of like a slot machine, and spending rare in-game currency, which changes depending on the banner. Once players spend that currency, the game will pull a random item from the banner and gift it to the player. The idea is to try and get every piece of clothing in the banner so that Nikki has a complete outfit. But this is harder than it sounds. The odds of getting super rare pieces in an outfit are low. That means players have to do multiple pulls to get the whole outfit, which means spending a lot of rare currency. Now, Infold is constantly rewarding you with different types of banner currency for doing everything from walking to breathing in the game, which would be great except for two things. First, winning banner currency for every little thing forces you to constantly stop and navigate the game's extremely convoluted user interface. Seriously, the amount of menus and submenus is overwhelming. But even when you somehow manage to find the menu you need to collect the banner currency you want, there's not a whole lot of it, meaning there's not a whole lot to spend. On top of that, some banners are only available for a limited time, putting pressure on players to spend what little currency they have faster, and the odds are often against you. Therefore, it's just easier to either buy a rare outfit with real money or spend real money on rare in-game currency. And this is where I start to have a problem with Nikki's banner system, because to get that rare outfit, you have to spend a lot of real-world money, upwards of $20 to even $50. But what really bothers me is that it's hard for players to know just how much they're spending on an outfit because the real price is often obscured by fake money, and it's hard to tell the value of that fake money. It's kind of shady, to be honest, and I would rather spend that money on outfits that at least have a clear price tag. Now, the good news is you don't have to spend any money. You can just patiently grind for banner currency and then wait to accumulate enough currency to do enough pulls to get a particularly gorgeous outfit. But again, some of these are limited time, so it's a risk. If you can fight the temptation to spend hundreds of dollars on Nikki's outfits and aren't in a hurry to get to the end of the story, then you'll be HOTTOGO. Infinity Nikki at its core is a cozy, fun, and relaxing game that wants you to chill in your downtime. In fact, I appreciate how Infinity Nikki encourages you to just dress up and show off with its impressively sophisticated camera mode that lets you snap photos in front of stunning vistas and then post them online for everyone to see. Sharing different looks with the online community is a great way to bond with other people and get some fashion inspiration. At the end of the day, this is a great free-to-play RPG that, yes, even manly men can enjoy thanks to its fun mechanics and intriguing narrative. I'm really enjoying Infinity Nikki, banners and all, and it's definitely a Game of the Year contender for me. But what about you? Have you played it? What do you think of it? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching, guys. See you later.